What is up, Warrior Bowlers? Welcome. Thank you for joining us again today. We're going to be going through a Scott Fish Bowl satellite mock draft. So we're using the Scott Fish Bowl scoring, and format is best balls. There's going to be 4 of us drafting. I'm at 101, which is the spot I have in the Scott Fish Bowl Satellite League. Foley is at 3, which is the spot that he has. JB is at 4. No, he's not. That's a lie. JB's at 9, and Dick is at 11. So neither of those guys are in the satellite leagues, but they decided they're going to just join in anyway, just for the crack. So the rest of the picks are all going to be on auto pick. We've got Foley and JB joining me on the Zoom call. So you all right, boys?
Yeah, I'm 2 bottles of wine in. JB's 3 dark fruits in, so we're about level.
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect drafting conditions then.
Perfect.
Yep.
Can't make any mistakes. No mistakes.
No mistakes.
Absolutely. Right, let's get cracking then. So I am at 101. So I've been back and forth on what to do with this pick. And basically I'm between McCaffrey and Mahomes.
Really?
And
really interesting.
And I honestly, half the time I go McCaffrey, half the time I go Mahomes, and I can't really decide which I prefer.
Yeah, it's much of a muchness, isn't it? Depending on what happens with the rest of your draft.
It's just a bit predictable to go McCaffrey, isn't it? So it makes me want to go the other way. So
would you go Mahomes 101?
So for the purposes of this, I'm going to go Mahomes, and we'll see where we end up by the end of the draft.
Wow.
See that. All right, so now it's down to me at 1-3. So that puts me in a position of either taking Saquon with a terrible early schedule, even though it's Saquon, going a little bit weird and taking Kamara or something like that, or just taking Lamar. And I very rarely draft an early QB, but with this being best ball, and Johnny, I think you said it best when you said it's all about the upside, didn't you?
Yeah, this is best ball, so it's all about upside.
Have you read that off a piece of paper?
I've rehearsed it a few times.
So I'm going Lamar Jackson because that boy can just score those points.
Oh.
So talk us through this one, JB. Are you considering QB at this stage or not?
No, I don't think so. Because I think there's some real good QBs in this area that might come back to me. I think I'll go QB next. I think I'm going to start with just the best wide receiver in the game, innit?
You reckon?
Michael Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, I've got no problem with that. Devontae Adams at 1-6, though, going ahead of Michael Thomas. I mean, how often does I don't know about the stats, but how often does a wide receiver 1 repeat a wide receiver 1?
I'm not sure, actually.
Probably pretty rare, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's a good shout. I'm sure Michael Thomas is up there.
I don't mind Adams as the first wide receiver off the board at all.
So I think I will go QB here.
Who are you going for and why?
So the 3 that I got in mind are obviously Murray, Prescott, Allen, and I just like them because all 3 of them rush the ball quite a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyler is probably the best kind of combination of the 2 out of the 3. I think Dak probably throws the ball more than he runs it, but that offense is so nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also I've got to think about the fact like Kyler does get pressured quite a bit. I'm going for the O-line, so I'm going to take Dak.
They've improved that O-line though, haven't they?
Yeah. But still, he got sacked quite a lot last year, Kyler Murray, and I think that will happen again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he'll want to throw the ball more.
Yeah. So I've got Lamar already, and as far as second QB goes, I'll take that as late as I need to because I'm not bothered now about a second QB. Once you got Lamar, you got a weak winner. So for me now, it's all about the running backs. I was really hoping Mixon would fall to me, and the fact he was 2 picks before is tragic. Eckler, I'm not a big fan of, so I'm not too bothered about that. But I am a massive fan of Jacobs this year, and I know there's some worries about him in the passing game. I just think it's gone the other way now. There was so much hype about him early in the season. It's now swung the other way, and it's like, oh, what about him in the passing game and stuff? But I think Jacobs he's got top 5 upside for me. Top 5 running back upside.
You've got 10 seconds.
That's why I just drafted him. Can you remind me every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got running back 1 upside for me. As in, the number one.
The Kelsey gone, their first tight end, obviously, because as I say, we're playing Scott Fishbowl rules, so that's the tight ends get an extra half a point boost on receptions and first downs. So for me here, again, I've got Mahomes, not looking at a quarterback at this point.
You're not going Kittle, are you?
No. So the receivers are a bit. We're in that kind of patch where we've missed the top tier and we've not. There's now a big block of receivers so that are a similar spot. So I'm not too worried about those.
That's spot on, that actually, because all the receivers in the next like 8-10 are all kind of like similar.
Exactly. So for me, I'm going to double up on the running backs at this spot. I'm going to take Aaron Jones, and then I'm also going to take, I think, despite I have concerns about Philadelphia and multiple backs being used on that Philadelphia offense.
He would have got back to me.
Despite that, I'll take Sanders.
No. He would have got back to me as well. We're not supposed to swear because you. Okay, so
I think that ship sailed a little while ago.
Yeah, just leave the swearing in there. People love a bit of X-rated stuff. Johnny, take your top off. So I could either double up on running back in. If I'm going to double up on running back, I'm going to take Kenyon Drake because for me, he's got the biggest upside again. He's got top 5 RB upside in his range of outcomes. I don't think Fournette has. Gordon, I'm way out on. Carson being injured to start the season, no. So I think Drake's the pick there at running back. I'm not really interested in wide receiver yet. Tight end, I'm very tempted with Kittle here because I do think he's going to get all those targets. So 15 seconds left. Kittle, or Drake. I'm probably gonna go Drake because I do think there's some. And Kittle went straight after. I do think there's other people there at tight end that I see having some good upside later.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake. That is banging.
So I'm looking at this now.
You're looking at no running backs.
I'm looking at no running backs, so that's fine because the guy that I want, hopefully, I think will be there next. So what I'm going to do is once again try and shore up one of my positions, and I wouldn't usually do this either. But
no,
I really like their schedule for the entire year.
Andrews.
I'm going Andrews at tight end.
No,
and then.
Well, you've got that tight end boost, haven't you? That half a point extra.
Yeah.
For those tight ends. So
let's see. Hopefully, my guy gets back to me next.
You know what? Mark Andrews could easily be tight end 1 this year. You want David Montgomery next, don't you?
That was the guy, wasn't it? Hilaire.
It was Hilaire. Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to pick him there, but maybe I could have now. Thinking about it, maybe I should have gone Hilaire first.
Dick's done you.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, playing the ADP game there, you'd have every right to think Andrews might get back to you. Maybe. I mean, he might not. But you'd have every right to think Clyde would get back to you, actually.
I thought Clyde would. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You had a good shout doing what you did. It's just Dick knows your mind. I think he's actually in your mind.
Maybe. But he's got to be looking wide receiver now.
Yeah.
Potentially.
The only worry for you now is just that running back core is just... Oof.
No, the guy, definitely the guy that I want will be there next.
Todd Gurley's your boy, isn't he?
No, not for best ball.
Gurley, you don't think?
No.
I see him as having those winning weeks. I mean, who else is going to catch passes? Who else is going to do things in that offense? Like it's all Gurley, isn't it? If he's healthy.
It is all Gurley. You're totally right. There's a lot of volume there.
You know, you can pause the draft if you need to, if you're really having a good think and you want to talk through it. That's fine.
Yeah, no, see, the thing that I like, there's something about this guy. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like if anything happens to the other guy, this guy's going to win me every single week. Whereas Gurley, I don't think the Falcons are going to need to lean on him.
You better not Singletree.
No, I'm going Kareem Hunt.
This early?
Yeah, this early. He's not getting back to me.
You reckon?
He's not getting back to me.
Wow. Kareem Hunt.
There's a lot of people that need, that'll probably take a running back in round 5.
Yeah. I mean, Kareem Hunt, I've got a huge amount of time for this year. I think he's going to be absolute quality. But
I feel like he and Nick Chubb will probably get the same amount of work. So, and I'd rather spend a later pick on Kareem Hunt than I would spending like a first round pick on Nick Chubb. If anything if anything happens to Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt is an RB1. Do you know what I mean? He's top 5.
Yeah. So I can either take a wide receiver 1 here, or I can triple up on running back. If I take a wide receiver 1, I'm going to get my guy. Otherwise, I think there's a good chance Sunshine might take him. So I'm going to take my wide receiver 1, which is Allen Robinson, because I think he is going to have that first or wide receiver 1 upside. And I knew Sunshine would take him. And I hope my running back gets back to me, because I knew Sunshine taking my wide receiver 1 here would break my heart into 2 pieces. And you would have took Robinson, wouldn't you?
I don't know if I do like Robinson a lot, but I don't know if I would have gone
over Sutton.
I don't. If I'd have taken a receiver, then I'd have definitely been Robinson.
Yeah,
but I don't know whether I will. So for me, I think I'm going to go super heavy on the running backs to kick us off, and hope that I can scoop up enough decent wide receivers later on. So I'm going to take 2 at this point.
No,
I am, and I'm going to take. Which ones I'm going to take? I'm going to take that one.
Love it. Love Montgomery this year.
And then, so for me, I was going to take David Johnson, but I wasn't entirely expecting Todd Gurley to be there either. So I think I'll go with Gurley. Reassuringly, that was the right decision.
I may have wanted him to drop to me.
I got that impression.
Yeah. So what you've got there is you've got Mahomes, obviously Mahomes, and you've got those 4 running backs. I mean, it is is it a 3 flex spot? 2 flex and a super flex, right?
3 flex and a super flex.
So I mean, F. So yeah, you've got some incredible running backs there. I mean, you might struggle to get really top notch wide receivers. It is a 3 wide receiver roster as well, but yeah, mate, that running back room is absolute quality, isn't it? Right, so I've got a choice between some wide receivers who I like, who might not get back to me, or I've got running backs who are thin out. I'm probably going to have to take this running back, because after David Johnson, you're looking at 2s and 3s, whereas David Johnson should be the 1. I don't absolutely love him, because I do think Duke Johnson will get quite a bit of work, especially in the passing game, but I think he's the last of the bell cowish running backs. So I'm happy enough with him. That's my RB3. I'm happy.
I like Johnson for this year.
That's my RB3. I think I'm good with that. RB2, I'd have some questions, but RB3, I'm happy.
So I think it's pretty much a no-brainer for me. I'm definitely going DJ Moore with that pick.
Yeah, he's got it this year, hasn't he?
I think like he'll be a mixture of kind of big games and volume, which is kind of pretty awesome.
That wide receiver run is. I think T.Y. Hilton's a bit of an early pick there, 5'6". I'd take Lockett, I'd take Moore, I'd take Metcalf.
I definitely thought Moore would definitely go before he got back to me, so I'm pretty chuffed about that.
Yeah, you did well to get Moore there. 5'9", actually. That's pretty good. I would have taken Moore alongside Robinson. It's either him or Robinson I was between, and there's a lot of wide receivers gone between that. Yeah.
So looking at this now,
Dick's team is terrible, isn't it? And the fact he's not on the call means we can just rinse him really well.
So there's more.
You'll end up winning the poll anyway.
So once again, I'm going to go for a guy that I think is just going to get the ball a lot this year, and that's DJ Chark.
Yes. You're making me want to swear, Johnny. And apparently I'm not allowed.
I think it just basically is just they're gonna throw the ball quite a lot in Jacksonville, and a lot of it there's only 2 guys that are gonna catch it, and that's him and probably a bit of Chenault.
So wide receiver 2 for me, I'm gonna take a 1 as a wide receiver 2. And again, with it being best ball, you want those big weeks. It's got to be Terry, because if Haskins does take that step up with New coaching staff, new offensive coordinator, new head coach. The fact that he impressed so much last year, they've got to lean on him. They've got to lean on Terry because he had that chemistry with Haskins, and you've just got to think there's a good chance he's going to be the guy there. And he's got wide receiver 1 upside. I think he's probably a safe wide receiver 2, but he's got wide receiver 1 upside. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I would be. I love Terry.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of shares of Terry.
Who took Jimmy Garoppolo in 6'11"?
So, I need some receivers.
So you can pause it if you want to walk through it because you've got 2 picks.
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
You know.
So it's all good. So the first guy I'm going to take, who I don't love because I'm not sure about him for this year.
AJ
but I think given where we are at this point in the draft, I think he's not a bad shout.
Oh yeah.
So that will be Juju, and then the second person that I'm going to go for. There's a few guys. I think AJ Green's got potential. I think Hollywood Brown, I think he'll do well this year. I like Mims to do well this year as well. But I think I'm going to go for Michael Gallup, who's, I think, a little bit overlooked at this point, given there's Cooper. They brought Lamb in.
Yeah.
So, but actually, I think he can be a solid number 2 wide receiver in that offense this year. So
good shout.
Gallup's the guy for me on that one.
I do think people are sleeping on him a lot, actually.
I think they are sleeping on him, but at the same time, I feel like he might not make it back to you, but looking at the ADP, I feel like if you could take CD in this format and probably get the same results as Gallup. Like, CD is a lot cheaper.
Maybe.
Yeah, I've got a choice of taking another QB here and hoping... No, sorry, I've got a choice of taking a wide receiver here and hoping a good QB gets back to me, but there's a good amount of QBs left on the board that I'd be relatively happy with as a super flex QB. Whereas wide receiver, there's probably 2 or 3 that I'd be happy with as a wide receiver 3. So it's a little bit thinner. So I'm probably going to take the guy that I think has got more of the upside week on week and get that stack and go Hollywood style, baby. Because I do think he's going to be the guy who receives most of the upside of Lamar's improved passing season.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with Marquise actually at 7.3. I think that's a good value for him.
So I'm looking at running backs now, and basically I am just going for those guys that could proper win me some games, that are super talented. So I'm going J.K. Dobbins on this one.
Oh, is that your RB2?
It's my RB2.
Oh, yeah. You've got to hope for something.
No, I'm happy. I think like there's some guys later on, like some kind of PPR kind of running backs, you know what I mean, that I could probably just pick up. But I'm going for the guys that I reckon if they start, it's game over.
You think Dobbins has got standalone value this year?
I think he does in the latter half of the season, maybe. But we'll see. So same again.
You think there's any chance that Dobbins takes over from Ingram early?
Potentially. So same again here. I'm going to go with Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones.
I would have gone with Jonathan Taylor, but Dick took him.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor's a really good shout there. I'd definitely take him above Jones.
That feels like a steal, Jonathan Taylor in round 8.
It really does, doesn't it? I'd take him above I'd probably take him above Dobbins, if I'm honest, mate. I think he'll have a better first season. I'd take him above Mack as well.
The thing is, I was not expecting Dick to go there because he has no wide receivers.
Yeah. So second QB for me.
You know,
second QB. I've got Rivers, who's a statue. I've got Gardner with a great tash. I've got Drew Lock, who's terrified of people running at him. Tannehill, who had that really good finish to last season. Can he carry it on? I don't know. Big Ben has got a dodgy elbow. Teddy has been paid a lot of money to throw the ball really short, which should be good. You know what? Again, I'm probably going to take the big upside, who I think he's got a chance of being the bigger one, especially as a second QB. You want the big upside. I think it's Joe Burrow. He's not your first QB, so he's the guy that could actually give you the biggest upside when you've got Lamar putting up those big weeks every week. I think he could have week-winning weeks, Joe Burrow, especially in best ball.
I think I'm starting to get the impression you're a bit of a Joe Burrow truther.
You know what? I think I am, and I really didn't think I was.
I love Joe Burrow. I think the thing is, because of the kind of minus points that you can get in this scoring format, and the fact that Joe Burrow is probably going to have 600 pass attempts, and he's a rookie QB, I think he'll balance out. You're right. He probably will have some week-winning weeks where he really plays well. But I don't know. I might take somebody who's a bit safer as my second QB.
Can you trade him to me in our Dynasty League then?
Oh, God, no, because I'm not playing best ball in our Dynasty League, are we? Joe Burrow is my guy. They got Tua as well.
So for me, it's down to receiver or QB. So if take an Edelman there. And so I think there's, 4 teams left that haven't got another 2 QBs? 1, 2, 3, including me. So this, in theory, we could be looking at 3, 4 at a push QBs going between now and then. So I'm going to take a punt that guys get back to me.
Are you going to do a Stidham? I'm
going to risk it, and I'm going to
booty scooting.
Get myself
Cam Newton.
No.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave the QBs.
Oh right, sorry, I misheard you.
I'm gonna wait.
He's going to risk it. He's going to do a JB.
I'm gonna risk it and see what
Slayton. You see, the problem with Slayton seems to be like the sexy pick, but I just don't trust him at all. I think it could be Golden Tate as wide receiver 1. It could be Shepard again. It could be Slayton, but I just don't think he's worth that kind of early pick.
The trouble with, I think, you've got 3 guys there that could have all got the potential to be the wide receiver 1. Plus, you've got Ingram if he's healthy.
Yeah.
Plus Saquon. So it's difficult to know who's going to be the number 1 guy out of that offense. But I think Slayton's got the most. He's got the highest ceiling, I would say.
Okay, so for me, I suppose if you're talking best ball, So for me, again, similar to what you just said there, the guy I think has benefited the most from Cam coming in is James White, because he's going to get all those kind of passes that McCaffrey did. And I think James White has got the biggest week-winning upside of all the running backs. Michelle just gone just before him. I'd take White way ahead of him. I'd take White ahead of Geis. I'd probably take White ahead of Ronald Jones. I think he's got the biggest week-winning upside out of a lot of people now, especially with Cam coming in.
I think an interesting thing for Cam, and obviously one of the knocks on him last year was that he checked down a lot to McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And questions over his arm and all that sort of stuff. But I think it'll be interesting to see what happens this year and how much of that was driven by his arm and how much of that was driven by the fact that it was Christian McCaffrey that it was checking down to.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was checking down to some jag. He was checking it down to
Christian McCaffrey. Yeah.
The best running back / receiver in the league.
I think Belichick loves White as well, though, which is a big part of that, because Belichick tells. Well, to an extent, he tells Cam what to do. He doesn't tell him to wear a matching short and pants set, which he did today, which I think only JB could get away with wearing out of us. I think there's only JB that could get away with wearing a matching polka dot short and pants and waistcoat set out of us.
That's right.
How often do you wear that, Johnny?
What, pants?
No, matching short and waistcoat set, polka dots. I've seen you do it, but how often?
I got changed just for this. Basically. I was wearing them before. So I think it's probably in my best interest now to take a QB. And looking at the people on the board, it's kind of like,
thinking about Teddy.
I am thinking about Teddy because I love Teddy Bridgewater this year. I do have DJ Moore, and I reckon those two are really going to have a connection.
Oh yeah.
But then I also like someone like Sam Darnold to take a step up. But I just don't like Adam Gase, whereas I prefer the offense that potentially could be in Carolina. So I think I will go Teddy.
Yeah, good shot. I think Teddy can easily outperform that. I mean, I don't know what he's going off at the board there in terms of QBs, but he could easily outperform a lot of the people who've just gone before him in the last couple of rounds. Easy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 100%. So for me, I mean, I can have a quick glance at tight end. You know what? I think I should have a quick glance at tight end because it started to thin out a little bit. There's a lot of the people gone off. I mean, Austin Hooper, I think, is a little bit too early. But if I'm looking at best ball, I think the guys who can take the big weeks where they do catch a hell of a lot of passes and take a couple of touchdowns, maybe. The guy I think is going to have the biggest second year compared to his first year, not the first week of the first year, but the general first year, is TJ Hawkinson. I've got him in a lot of other leagues. I think he's got that ability to break out. I mean, how often do tight ends break out in the first year? Gronk. That's it. So, yeah, I think he's got the ability to actually proper breakout this year and be a tight end 2, 3.
Good schedule as well, apparently.
Yeah. And if Stafford's there, he's going to catch a lot of those red zone passes. So, yeah, for me, I think Hawkinson's a good shout as a tight end.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to dip my toe back into the QB market again, pick up another one at this point. There's a few that went in that last round, the last few picks I'd have been happy with. Roethlisberger, Minshew. Locke and Bridgewater have both got some upside, but I think this one, similar to what JB said, I like Darnold this year. I think he takes a step forward. I don't love Adam Gase, but I think Darnold actually played better than his numbers gave him credit for last year. And he was struggling health-wise all the way through the year. And I think at this point, and again, I'm going to take this guy available at this spot. Again, I don't know whether this is going to come to fruition in real drafts because obviously there's a certain amount of ADP issues on this one. So I'm going to take Cam.
Oh,
and his ADP is only going to get higher with the news being relatively recent. So I'm going to double up. I'm going to take Cam at that one. I think he ends up going a lot higher than that in drafts.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
But obviously, I'll take advantage of the ADP lag on this one at the minute.
Yeah, so I need to fill out wide receiver, but I also got to have a think about that third QB. I think that third QB spot is actually really crucial in Superflex leagues, especially when it comes to best ball. So if I don't take a QB now, I'm probably going to be looking at a number 2. So if I can take a number 1 now, I think I've got that little bit of an extra edge when it comes to the QB position, which, given its 6-point touchdown, point scoring, I think that's going to be pretty important, actually, more important than I think it is. So given the way he finished last year, if the fact the team's exactly the same this year, same head coach, same offensive coordinator, same offensive scheme, I think Tannehill's got a chance, if he does repeat that last half of last year, to be one of the top QBs in the league. And in the 11th round, I'm pretty happy with taking that risk there. The risk is I'm losing a couple of wide receivers that I wanted, but I don't think I'm going to get as good a QB this time next round.
I'm echoing that, looking at who's left on the board, because, there's only 4 of them really that I know are probably going to start.
Yeah.
Got a lot of shares of Derek Carr. I think with all the weapons and whatnot that he's now got, I reckon,
You've got Derek Carr everywhere.
I think I do have Derek Carr everywhere. I am actually pretty high on Tyrod Taylor, in the sense that I don't think Herbert starts until week 10.
No,
but
I agree.
But I also like Haskins a lot to take a step up. So I'm going to go with Haskins and take a little bit of a chance.
That's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. I think Tyrod would probably score you a lot more points in the first half of the season, but I do think he's sitting on a bench for the second half.
This is it. I like Justin Herbert quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? And if it came around to taking the 4th QB and he was down there, I might go for it. Who knows?
Who took Anthony Miller? Anthony Miller, I've got as the guy who's going to take that tier jump this year. He's going to go up and up and up and up and up. And Tarek Cohen as well. Auto picks.
So, once again, looking at kind of upside and players that could potentially be pretty awesome. Sunshine touched on it earlier in round 6 when he took Juju. I feel like you could wait and get this guy instead and potentially be laughing.
You're talking about Deontay?
I'm talking about Deontay. I like him, and I like N'Keal Harry at this position because N'Keal Harry is technically a 1. But because he hasn't played with Cam yet, do you know what I mean? I'm not sure. That might take a little bit of time. Whereas I think Deontay Johnson's just such a good wide receiver.
He's only had one game with Ben, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. There's something about him that I just feel like he's probably going to be a bit more smoother in terms of transition.
Oh, Harry went straight after as well. Look at that.
There we go.
Okay, so I've really got to start thinking about filling out that wide receiver now. So I need the guys who are going to potentially get me week-winning scores. So out of the people who I've got on the board here, I've got a couple that I consider. I've got the Lizard King. As much as he's an idiot and he believes that lizards rule the world, maybe they do. He could easily win you. I mean, the fact he finished the playoffs so well, he could do. Jeffrey, probably starting the puck. Golden Tate's good wide receiver for a redraft, I think, but I don't like him in best ball. Robbie Anderson could be that guy. He genuinely could be that guy. He could be the guy they bring in, especially the fact that he knows the head coach there so well. Jerry Jeudy could be. James Washington could be the answer to your prayers when it comes to that backfield. I think I'm going to take a big risk. I'm going to go for the guy who might be coming in instead of Jeffrey. I'm going to go with Rager. So I think he has got that. He's got that week-winning kind of upside. I don't usually take rookie wide receivers, but I just think he's got the talent, he's got the opportunity to actually take that role and say, you know what, this is me. I'm going to score all the points.
So again, I'm not looking at running backs. I'm pretty set there. Quarterbacks, I'm good. I'm not worried there. So it's really, we're looking at wide receivers and do I want to take a tight end at this point? So I haven't got any tight ends yet. And normally I will wait as long as possible. And there are guys later on that I think I'd be happy to take. But from a tight end perspective, there's one guy that I like a lot more than that's what I am going Hayden Hurst. Well, we saw what Hooper did last year in that offense.
The only question I've got for you on that is Hayden Hurst versus Jared Cook. Jared Cook has got multiple years of being a top performer at tight end, and Hayden Hurst has none. That's the only question I'd have for you on that.
It's fair. It's a fair question.
And it's not going to get an answer.
It's not. I'm not got an answer for you. So I'll let you take him next time around. So then I'm going to be looking at a receiver, and I think for me, I am going to look and try and get another little piece of that Chiefs offense. Again, because I know he's inconsistent, but because it's best ball, I'm happy to take the little bit of a punt.
You've saved me a job there, because I was staring down Sammy Watkins.
And in normal format, I don't really want to go near Sammy Watkins, but best ball, actually, I'm happy to I would take the big week, the few big weeks as and when they come.
I was desperately hoping I wouldn't have to choose Sammy Watkins, mate. So thank you so much.
Here to help.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the guy that I probably should have chosen the last round, and it's the guy who I think could be the wide receiver 1 on the Eagles team.
Oh, I see. I was going to go him. Yeah. That's why I didn't say anything. I thought, like, why has he done that?
Yeah. Because, I think Rager has got maybe the bigger upside just from the injury history, purely because Deshaun hasn't had a fit season in such a long time. But the fact, if Jackson is on the field, I think he probably takes that bigger role. So what I've done basically is ensured the Eagles wide receiver room, because Jeffrey probably is going to start in the pup or he's going to start injured. So who's going to be the guy? And I think it's going to be one of them two. So I'll basically ensure that position, which I'm happy with, really happy with.
Yeah, definitely. That's where I was going next. 100%. So looking at my team again now, I don't really have a lot of sure things at running back outside of Kareem Hunt, really. The other guys that I've got are kind of fighting for positions. So I feel like what I really need to do at this point is kind of load up with a few more and just hope some of them stick. And one guy that I really like in terms of talent is Deandre Swift. So I'm just going to take him.
How's he fallen to 13.9?
I don't know. But he's
That's
there.
crazy. How's he gone after Damian Harris, AJ Dillon, Tony Pollard?
Not quite sure. But yeah, basically, I just love his talent. I feel like, it'll be pretty even split between him and Carry On.
Mate, I think you've absolutely cheated sleeper there, because Carry On going in the 10th round and then Swift going at the end of the 13th is just wrong on all levels. You've absolutely nailed sleeper there.
Thanks.
Well done, you. How the hell is Swift going in the 13th round? Sunshine, sort it out.
I'm quite upset about this.
I'm genuinely quite annoyed. I don't think.
Do you know who's going to be more upset?
Go on.
Me bleeping all these expletives out when I edit it afterwards.
So next, I'm also going to go running back again. And there's two ways I can look at this. I can either get Keyshawn Vaughn and lock up that Tampa Bay backfield, which I think is going to be productive, or I can shoot for the stars. I've got Dwayne Haskins. There's a guy here that I think just screams upside. We don't know how this offense is going to play out.
Vernon Davies.
And if he's any good, if he's as electric as he is, if I play him on the right week, it's game over.
Oh, he's gone Gibson. Gibson with that massive upside. Sunshine, are you going to bleep the swearing out or just erase it?
I might just erase you.
Okay, but if you don't do that, because then it'd be really boring with you and Johnny, are you going to bleep it out or are you going to erase it?
I don't know, mate. I'll figure it out.
Jared Cook. Boom. Johnny?
There you go. See, it left him for you.
Johnny?
Happy.
Johnny?
Happy.
Johnny?
What?
No? Johnny?
Jared Cook, yeah. I like Jared Cook.
Jared Cook, I think, has got a chance of being. He's got the ceiling of a top five tight end, don't you think?
Yeah.
With Drew Brees in his last year, to get him after people like Irv Smith and Dallas Goedert and even Mike Gesicki, I think he's just outrageous. In redraft, you'd take him. I don't know. It'd take him at tight end 7, 8, 9, wouldn't you? You don't think?
Yeah, man. 100%.
He's gone so late, and it feels like a dynasty league. The fact that you get him in the 14th round, that's crazy.
So I think I am going to, with this one, I'm going to take one of JB's favourites, and I'm going to go for
yeah, fair enough.
Get an extra quarterback. Again, I wouldn't normally take 4, but given it's best ball, there's still some question marks on Darnold. Cam, there's still some question marks on Cam as well. There's no question marks on Mahomes, but I might just take a 4th just to make sure I'm getting as much points as I can.
So we've all agreed Dick's team is by far the worst, and my team is by far the best, with Sunshine and Johnny's a little bit of the way behind. So this has been a really good draft then to understand exactly how good I am at drafting. This is great. This is really good. It's really good. Very nice.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. The guy that took Jalen Reagor and Deshaun Jackson back to back.
You want that. You said you wanted it because you should want it because it's great.
Well,
there we go.
Oh, thanks.
There we go. Thanks for that expert analysis.
I didn't even get.
I think that's a good. It's a good summation of the facts there. Facts are that my team's the best. Your teams are not too bad, but Nandika's is terrible. I think they're the facts.
So do you now feel well prepared for your Scott Fishbowl satellite draft?
No, because I'm still not sure what best ball means, but we'll give it a match.
It's going to be interesting.
We'll figure it out.
It's at least I've just got to decide between Mahomes and McCaffrey which way I want to go. I quite like that team going that way with Mahomes. I think taking him allows me to punt QB a little bit till later on.
You know what? I think you're right. I think for winning weeks, I think you've got to take. I might take Jackson first though. Actually, if you're talking about winning weeks. But either way, I don't think you can go wrong. I'd probably take QB if I were you.
Exactly. Any of those 3 guys.
Yeah.
None of those 3 guys are a bad pick, are they? There's
All right, we better go, boys, because you're gonna have to edit the hell out of this already.
I am. That's true. I got a lot of things to bleep out.
Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Right, good night, boys.
As always.
Good night, God bless.
Good night, guys.
See you later.
See you later.
See you later.
Good weekends.